it says. All right, this. Oh, it's a little crooked. No big deal.
All right, we can use our Shannon Doherty app.
Oh no.
It's true. Poor thing. And you seem like.
Oh, YouTube. This is Scott Duff.
Hi, YouTube. How are you?
Oh my gosh. So Scott Duff is a super champion. I mean, we're going to talk about why he's an extra super champion. But the tripod that I'm using is actually his because I lost my stupid tripod, and Scott Duff saved the day. But now
That's
I feel like
what friends are for.
I'm terrified.
I gotta go out of frame for a second.
Yeah. So it does look like we've got,
And I'm back. All right.
we've got like Batman vision. Maybe I'll just hold it like that. How do you like?
Okay.
How do you feel about it?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. We're doing okay, YouTube Live. Hey, I'm Kelsie. This is my channel and I like to talk to people in Chicago who are awesome. And this is Scott Duff. He's amazing. So what do? You do a million things. Radio.
Radio.
Do you like to call yourself a radio personality? A host?
Yes. Yeah.
Personality.
Because I'm on WCPT, which is Chicago's Progressive Talk.
It's gonna be a little tilty.
Just go like this.
Whoa!
Oh, like a roller coaster. Oh! All right, there we go.
Okay, we're back.
So I host.
I'm gonna hold it. I know.
It's driving you crazy.
Driving me crazy. Yeah. It's my fault because I lost my tripod.
OCD.
So talk about your radio show.
Okay, it's called Out Chicago, and it's on WCPT, Chicago's Progressive Talk. It's every Sunday from 11 to 1, Chicago.
I'll put it in the comments section.
Oh, great, yeah.
Link it up.
Right down here.
Yeah.
And you can listen, you can stream the show.
Modern,
yeah. Yeah, we even have like podcasts.
Whoa, it's like radio.
That are on it. But
on the internet.
But on the interwebs. But we're actually on traditional broadcast radio.
Yeah, you do it all.
Yeah.
I mean, you're available. You have many different platforms.
Let go of the thing.
I know. I can't do it anymore.
Right.
I can't. Let's scoot up.
Yeah. My Christmas tree is still up.
It's an amazing tree.
It's the gayest Christmas tree in the world. It's ridiculous.
Why is it gay? Explain.
Well, because it's giant and it is white and sparkly and there's nothing but balls on it. So
it's the balls.
It's the balls that really sets it off. You know what I mean? So we should take it over. I think at the end, kind of do a little tour.
We'll do a tour.
At the
Oh
end.
my God! Stay tuned, YouTube.
Look out! Watch out!
Watch out for those holiday balls.
You are over Christmas.
It is January 7th. What's the date?
Today, I think, is the 8th.
The 8th.
Yeah, but the wise men just arrived at the manger a couple days ago.
Gotcha. Look at this nerd over here.
Yeah.
History.
Oh, history.
So what else do you do? What else do you do besides the radio?
I'm on the radio. I do stand-up comedy here in Chicago.
Yep.
Would love to come to your neighborhood. And what else? I do some acting.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell them where they might have seen you.
Well, I have been lucky enough to grace the stages of the Goodman Theater, Steppenwolf Theater, Chicago Shakespeare.
No big fucking deal.
I know, right? What? And I'm also a founding member of About Face Theater.
Description below.
That's some
hot shit.
There we are, yeah. Which we are now in, I think, our 21st year.
Legally can drink as a
Legally
company.
can drink as a company.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Shots. So I guess my question to you, Scott Duff, is because one of the things I admire about you, there are many things. I can't list them all.
It's my roguish good luck.
Yeah. Oh, well, top of the list.
Right there.
But you are somebody, and I think it's what people in Chicago do often is you have a lot of creative buckets. Is that what we're gonna call them? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you're doing the acting thing, you're doing the radio thing, you're producing comedy, you are a stand-up, you're hosting, you're doing all of these things. So do you feel that is 100% necessary to survive, or is that just part of your personality? Is it a little of both?
I think it's a little bit of both because I tend to be a controlling son of a bitch. So I'm like,
you did tell me to sit right here.
You're gonna sit right there. I have to burp now. And
do it. The internet
there we
doesn't
are.
care.
The internet doesn't care at all.
They're just cat videos.
Cat videos of me drinking my bougie.
Oh yeah, well that's where the burps come from.
Yeah, that's true. The other day I was driving in my car and there was so much sound like rattling around in the back seat of my car, like and I'm like, what is all that? And I turned around and it was nothing but empty Pamplemousse LaCroix cans and kombucha bottles.
Whoa.
So I'm a douche. I am a douche. It's awful. I'm like, oh my God, I'm the biggest asshole on the planet. Nothing but LaCroix and kombucha. Shut the fuck up.
Oh, man.
Get out of here, Duff.
Listen,
You're horrible.
people are unsubscribing.
Right after
Unsubscribe.
no, done. I hate this guy.
Personality.
No, but I do think it's like it's in my personality. I do think that if you are lucky, you can make your living by just being a creative person here in Chicago because it's a little bit cheaper, although it's getting a little bit more expensive these days.
Yeah.
But if you are, you can. But I think you have to be multidisciplined, like you. I mean, you're.
Yeah.
You teach, you do the comedy, you do the hosting, you do the producing. I've been lucky enough to pop up on the TV.
Yeah. Same with you though. I mean, you're on the Chicago. I can't remember if it was Med or PD.
Yeah. I was on PD. Chicago PD. They cut my scene. It was horrible.
He's enraged. He's gonna burn it down.
I'm gonna burn it down.
Just so you do feel like, but here's the thing, like I feel like it could be, what am I trying to say? Because there's not like a massive one industry here. It's like, and Saturday Night Live, you're not gonna like, Seth Meyers people are not gonna see you and give you a job, right? Like you have to have multidiscipline because there is no massive industry. At least that's how I always felt.
Yeah, I don't think I think you can work. I think you can definitely work. I don't think the odds of becoming like the next comedy superstar or whatever, just being based here in Chicago, that probably is not going to happen.
Right. Now, you're somebody who has lived elsewhere. So can you tell me, like...
Oh, yeah, but that was
doesn't count?
It was Memphis.
Yeah, but Memphis, I mean, there is a theater scene there, no? No,
there is.
Uh-oh, Memphis is going to be
there.
I didn't know this was going to go this way.
Because I lived here in Chicago. I moved to Memphis, and then I came back. While I was still living here, I came back to Memphis to do a play up here in Chicago, and I got my equity card. And then I went back to Memphis, and Tennessee is a right to work state.
Gotcha.
So they would not hire me because of my equity status. So that was challenging. And then when you had to go through, it was it's a challenge. And even like actually Memphis has a thriving theater scene. There's some of the best stuff I've ever seen is there. And the voices, shut up. There are some singers in Memphis, Tennessee. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But a lot of it's just like volunteer. It's like a community-based theater. But the production values are
so economically very difficult.
Economically, you can't make your living as an artist in Memphis. But coming back here, I mean, there are ways. I think it is doable. But again, it's like whether or not you're going to be a superstar.
Right.
Probably not.
Right. I do agree. I think like a lot of people, obviously, like the main export of Chicago is sort of like comedy talent, right? So you come here for the clown schools, whether it's Second City or IO or Annoyance, whatever, and then you move to New York, LA, London, wherever you go.
London?
So,
Who's moving to London?
Yeah, there's some people.
Really?
Yeah. What was it, Cynthia, right? She was writing for Rosie O'Donnell when she was here, and then I think she got a job in London. And then what I hear is that there are a lot of like like women character comedians.
Oh.
You can get hired. They love it. They like get hired like that. Like Dawn French, but not Dawn French.
But the American Dawn French.
Yeah. Even though like I don't know how much they like Americans.
Right.
So. You're getting writing jobs.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, that's kind of good to know. Yeah. But
but the thing that also frustrates me is the stuff that does every once in a while we'll get like little nuggets. Like there are all these television shows that are being filmed here right now. You got all of Chicago,
PD
Med, veterinarian, town hall, like whatever the hell it is. I'm still waiting for my spinoff, Mr. Jones, Chicago Neighborhood Watch. Nosy
Just
neighbor.
like you and your binoculars. And your robe.
What?
Hot spinoff, you guys.
I'm telling you, Dick Wolf, get on it. It's true. I'm just peeping out my window the whole time, and I uncover like a whole like prostitution ring that's masquerading as a book club. Like I think it'll totally work.
Oh my gosh.
Or like somebody's been leaving like their dog bags out. Who is it?
And then there's meth in it.
And then come to Mr. Jones.
Whoa.
Mr. Jones will find out. That was my character's name on Chicago PD.
I love it. You're really pushing it. You're really pushing him to live. Because Dick Wolf is definitely watching.
He's totally watching. Thanks, Dick. Your name is so not a porn star's name. But like a long time ago, I don't know if you were in town when that was happening, but do you remember when Joan...
Cusack.
Yeah, there was, what about Joan or whatever? There was a Joan Cusack show.
I remember, I hear tell of such a tale.
Yeah, there was a sitcom that was being shot here, Joan Cusack, who I think still lives here.
She lives here. She has like a little shop in Old Town, and sometimes she works there.
What?
Yeah.
All right. Guess where we're stalking. Well, yeah,
We want to be your friend, Joan.
Joan, we love you.
But so there was some more. I feel like it comes and then there's
it
like
goes away.
pockets.
Yeah.
Where they don't get a tax break, or there's some reason why, and historically, like I believe like the old Hollywood dudes, started in Chicago and then they couldn't do it because of the film. The film was too cold, so they had to go somewhere in LA. You know what I mean? So I think there's like a spirit here of creation. As far as like obviously like Steppenwolf, all of these things.
Oh, yeah.
People create here and learn here, but then they sell the product elsewhere. It's just kind of a bummer. That's all.
There we are. Yeah, I agree.
I know. Yeah. But I feel like my final question, because I want to talk about, because we're talking about Chicago as like a community, right? And like, how do you make a living here? How do you be creative here? And it's definitely doable. Now, you do a show now, the Kiki Comedy, Kiki Comedy Show. I don't know if that's the official title.
It's the Kiki Queer Comedy with Variety.
Links below. Yeah. So now, are you having a hard time? Because we've talked about this off camera before.
Right.
Are you having a hard time finding, like, especially male? Just tell YouTube, how hard is it to book a male-identified gay comic?
Not as hard as I thought it was. Like, as it had been.
Especially primarily stand-up.
Okay, doing primarily stand-up, that is hard.
Okay.
Because there are just a handful of us around town, and some people even, like, we had a bunch of people leave recently.
Which, to be fair, happens a lot.
Yeah, no, totally get it.
But...
And then there are also a couple of comics that I'm like, I'm not quite sure how you identify. Like, I think you're queer, but it's tacky to ask. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There are a couple. But since we've broadened it up, there are a couple of really amazing... like queer improv companies.
Gotcha.
And queer storytellers and queer like actors who do characters or or performance artists. They want to do something. So once we broadened the scope of our show, because we first did it was just stand up.
Right.
But now we opened it up to do like musicians and storytellers and improv and character work and essays and whatever it is.
So once you open the field to sort of performance variety, using the word
variety, yeah,
you have more choice. So what is it, do you think, and I know that you're not speaking for everybody, so don't feel like I'm putting that pressure on you, but for you, because I enjoy stand-up comedy immensely. It is a field that I am performing in, and I enjoy being on stage, right?
Yeah.
What do you think it is for you personally that maybe that you think people would be like, this isn't cool with my community. They're not welcoming to me. As far as audience or as far as the community goes, it's a lot, right?
It's a lot.
Did I put you on the spot?
No.
I feel like,
I talk
and this will be the last question.
Well, I talk about it on stage. But I think that that's, it's really basic. It's people get grossed out by what they think I do in the bedroom. They get grossed out about what they think the dudes do in the bedroom. And they automatically cannot, they refuse to like identify. Does that make sense?
So there's like a distance inside. They're like defensive.
I've seen so many women who are just like raunchy as fuck, and they're out there talking about like sucking dick and blah, 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 blah. But if I go up and I talk about sucking dick, people are like, whoa, wait, what?
Yeah.
Like, well, she was just talking about it. Yet you were laughing at that. Why? People get weirded out. And I think it's because this goes back to, I want to say maybe a 2008 study from the University of Indiana. It wasn't 2008. It was a little bit more recent than that. But there was like around when the marriage equality was kind of a buzz. That was the big thing. And a study out of Indiana University said that an overwhelming percentage of the population was in support of same-sex marriage.
Okay.
But when it came to same-sex PDA, they weren't about it. So like just seeing two men or two women, particularly I think two men holding hands, they were grossed out by that. Women, see, that's the thing. Like with female-identified queer comics, there are a ton of them. You've got your Ellen, your Wandas, your Camerons, you've got, all these people out there. And for me, it's because we as a society fetishize women. So two women together are like, it's kind of hot.
Yeah, because you're looking at like the male gaze. It's not really about how they feel. It's about how they make you feel.
Yeah. And then so that's kind of a worse, it's kind of like, oh, it's okay. It's kind of sexy. Or what's even worse is... Because
women are supposed to be a couple things, and sexy is one of them.
Yeah. But what's even worse, again, what they do is they neuter them. So these like lesbian or queer women, they aren't sexual at all.
Yeah.
So that's...
Well, which is where I feel like I, as a performer, land. You know, because I'm not someone who talks about sex. I'm not someone who talks about love. But I almost, and this is something that I'm like trying to navigate with the new climate, because I'm changing as a person, and the performer me and Kelsie me are not connecting like they used to. And I'm somebody who doesn't, I'm not like a super sexual person. I almost self-neuter myself on stage. You know what I'm trying to say?
But it's different, because like for me personally,
which I find empowering, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Well, but when I'm talking about like what's empowering is sharing my story and my experience. And for me, you know, there's a whole lot of talk about like normalizing things. Like now with Trump America, like everything's normalized. Fake news is normalized. Well, like I think it's important for the queer community to normalize affection, because it's affection is what it is. It's an expression of love.
Well,
it's an
that's
expression
the thing.
of sharing.
It's such a great point. Like, affection is such a great term. Sorry, I
mean,
mean, I got very excited.
I know. No, but for me, like that's so I will make it a point that I will talk about gay sex, you know, whatever that is, like in some form of that. Just to kind of keep it in, to introduce it into the culture, because you don't see those stories, you don't see them on TV. We're just starting to see them like, you know, like in movies, you know, but see them still, they're few and far between, and they're not gay people that play those roles.
Yeah, well, that's a whole other,
like,
that's a whole other
thing.
But the other thing I think is, which seems, because I really like this so interesting about like how obviously that people in the audience of a stand-up show, or like other comedians, or just the world in general, views like, you know, gay women or queer identified women versus men, right? Sort of that male and female energy. And men are not allowed to be affectionate. Do you know what I mean? Straight or gay, like you are not allowed. You know what I'm saying? I think that's part of the problem. It's like, well, if you cut off men from having any more emotion than like fucking and being angry, like that's what you're allowed. And then you can't be sexual if you're a gay man on stage because it grosses people out. What's left but anger? And that's, I don't know, I guess I'm saying it's emotionally neutering, and that's fucked up. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
it's true.
And because I do think I do think people have a different reaction when they see like men holding hands with another man, and it like makes them like, just, you know, the buttholes are real tight about it. You know?
Well,
and it's like, well, because is it because they're showing love, and you can't understand men showing love? Because even, you know, straight men can't fucking show that shit. I know I'm generalizing, but
well, look, it's a kind
of, you know, they don't like it. It's like weak, and that's fucked up.
Yeah.
But I mean, and you got all of those layers, you know, of people being homophobic. You've got, I mean, that shit's there. I mean, I don't have to tell you. I don't have to tell you. What am I telling you for?
You know, and it's even funny. Like I found myself like commenting on it, on like that sort of weakness, just to get like a cheap laugh. Because I remember hosting a show, and there was somebody who went up, you know, they were doing their bit, and they were talking about how they weren't gay, but they were kind of like, they're kind of an effeminate straight man. And as they were going off, I was like, there we are, it's this person. Hard to believe he's not gay, you know? And like huge laugh. But it's like,
but that's so tricky. Like now we're getting into a whole nother ball of wax, right? Because the thing about comedy, right, is that you sort of want to play against type or push into type. It's for me anyway. It's all about vulnerability and identity, right?
Yeah.
But then you want to fuck with people's notions about what the identity is. And my love of comedy is like, I know how you look at me. I know what you see and what you perceive. Let me tell you how you're wrong. So that's how I have power of identity, but I think it's super extra hard if you don't fit into the norm. Because once you're fighting extra, and also people I think do push into stereotype because it does get it works.
Well, it works, and it's also
and it
like,
sucks.
but if you go into that stereotype, which I try to do, is when I like going into that stereotype and trying to enlighten somebody, you know, I do this whole, you know, my stupid Ricky Martin stuff, you know, but like
it is not stupid, it is hilarious.
It's really hilarious. And Ricky Martin, I'm so sad that you're getting married.
Look at this tree.
Look at the tree. Look at that. This could be yours, Ricky Martin.
You have so much
Even
to
though
offer
my boyfriend is right upstairs. He's right there. He's listening in.
He's like, that son of a... You were just talking about affection.
I know.
And
there we are. Now I'm talking about Ricky Martin. But like you become like this total like large, big, stupid caricature. But then you're able to. It's that whole like Mary Poppins spoonful of sugar stuff.
I know. It's
because they go on like, and later on like, we'll talk about, you know, this fucking the Supreme Court cases with the bakeries, or I will talk
Yeah,
about what it
yeah.
means to be a feminist, what it means to be like I support women, and like this is how I support women, and you know, like think.
Yeah, you talk about like public safety space too, right? You're like
Yeah.
following women, like, you know, I am somebody who I am not violent towards women. I feel like I'm on their side, but how they see me on the street.
How do they see me? Because I'm a big dude.
Yeah, and they see me as this other person, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I get what you're saying. It's like sometimes I do feel like, and this is what I love about comedy, there's so many different avenues. You can push into stereotype to get people sort of, ha, this is safe. I mean, he's not challenging me and my beliefs. And then eventually you get them
do.
safe and you jab them.
Yeah, like ha! Gotcha. It's like
Yeah.
look into my crystal ball of
Oh my
comedy.
God. Hot thumbnail.
Oh, that's
This is very Labyrinth. I mean,
I know,
very
right?
Jared.
No.
Jared? Yeah, it's Jared.
Can only be Jared. That one? What are you talking about?
Oh my gosh.
Jared.
Yeah, Jared is his name. You remind me of the babe. What babe? The babe with the power. What power? It's Jared. His name is Jared. Listen, you guys.
Link in
put
comments.
it.
Well, I don't know what.
Put it in there. Put it in
What
there.
is-
We've been talking for 21 minutes.
we have.
Oh
Oh,
my gosh. Scott Duff, it's always a pleasure, but we're gonna give this holiday tree tour. I'm gonna put all your links below, and then
great.
tell people where they can see you in case they're too lazy to look in the description box if they want to see you do comedy.
Yeah. So if you're in town in Chicago, I'm like, what am I doing? If you're in Chicago, I do a monthly show in Andersonville called The Kiki, Queer Comedy with Variety. It's free.
That's a pretty good deal.
I know, right? And it's in Andersonville at Transistor. I usually perform at Laugh Factory a whole bunch. This is going up.
This is going up tonight.
Oh, right
It's
now.
it's live.
Okay. So if you're in Chicago, this Friday, I am hosting a show called Strip Joker.
By Brittany. Oh yeah, I've done it one time. Yeah, so
I've done it one time
it's an
too.
amazing show, like a very body positive show. It's very fantastic.
It's a body positive show where it's
Comedians
taking
get
out their
naked.
clothes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll be hosting it. I just showed Kelsie
I
my
saw
outfit.
behind the scenes outfit. Oh my god, we should put that in the Insta story.
No. The
Oh.
last time I did this show, they were like, because I got down to.
Oh no, just the outfit, you holding it.
Oh, okay.
Should be like, come to see the show.
Oh, maybe we can do that. Okay, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but anyway, so I'll be there on Friday, January 12th at 9:30 special time because they're doing an open mic beforehand at 8.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, well that's great. Now, this is a bonus, YouTube Live bonus. Let's do a tour.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Duff's.
There's
See
your
if
palm.
that works.
That's
There's
your
my palm. Yeah, I'm a very
Where are we
good
going?
vlogger. I'm gonna
Which
keep
way
it
are we
like
going?
this.
Keep it like this.
You go. Oh yeah.
Keep it like this.
And
Keep it like
you're
this.
on.
All right, here we
Action.
go. Welcome to my big. Look, it's like I got a sun in my hand.
It's another Jared
I
ball.
don't know, but it can only. Who is Jared? I don't know.
From Labyrinth. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Keep
yeah.
going.
That's this thing.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh. Come there.
All right, tour.
So here's the big Christmas tree.
Big Christmas tree.
Let's see.
You've got cards, which
We've
means
got cards.
you have friends.
We have friends. It's a big white tree with a whole
Onicia!
Hey!
Yay!
I know wearing my glasses.
Oh.
Kids, see, I'm so old. I turned old this. I had set a birthday.
Stop it.
It was
Happy
bad.
birthday.
Thank you.
All right, well, Onicia, you're tuning in. We've already watched the rest of it. It's fabulous, Scott Duff, but now he's
Hilarious.
giving us a tour of his
It's a
holiday
beautiful
tree.
Christmas tree that's been up forever, so it's now turning into a President's Day tree. Yeah, so we just kind of shut everything up there. Like this is. Here we're gonna see. We got little photographs. This is that's me.
Oh,
That's baby me. That was my very first Christmas.
Come on.
And that's my mom and
Look
my
at that
sister
couch.
and my
I love
brother.
it.
I know the couch. Look at my mom's hair.
Adorable.
So good.
Oh, super fancy.
So yeah,
Onicia
so it's just a
says.
big white tree with a whole bunch of balls all over it.
Yeah. So what would you say, since you mentioned before, what is the gayest ball?
Well,
Thought you were gonna point to your own ball.
you're right here. It's like,
Oh, are you coughing?
oh, you're
I
not.
know what you're doing.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
I know what you're doing.
Doesn't
One more
have a
time.
hernia.
Yeah. You dummy.
But we did just get this. My, I guess, brother-in-law. We're not married, but Jerry's brother just is embracing our big gay lifestyle.
I love it.
And we got these
Shut
big gay
your
mermen.
face right now.
There we are.
Which one are you?
I don't know. I like to think that I'm the cool pride one with the towel,
Oh, the guy with the sunglasses.
the sunglasses.
Yeah.
But I think I'm probably the Christmas.
You're the elf.
I'm the Christmas elf.
I know him.
I know, oh my God. Such our big gay Christmas tree.
I love it. I'm going to go all the way up to the tippity top.
Oh, good luck. Oh, it's really tall.
That is a tall-ass
tree.
Well, Scott Duff, thank you so much for doing YouTube Live.
Thank you, Kelsie, for having me and for being
Let's do a
you.
squeeze. Oh, my gosh.
We love each other.
Oh, we know. It's weird, right? No, it's not.
All right,
We're going to be off in right now. Bye,
Bye.
Onicia. Thanks for watching. Boink. Yes.